Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel where I make quality content that nobody really asked for. In today's video, we actually have a vlog, which is something different for me because I normally don't vlog things, especially on long form videos, just because I find myself kind of boring. I don't know, every time I try to film something and edit it, I just feel like it's a boring video. But this one was semi-interesting. I thought I did a pretty decent job at vlogging. Maybe one day I'll get better at it. But yeah, I went to the Washington State Toy Show, and that's in the fairgrounds here, like the Washington Fairgrounds. And it's something that I look forward to every year because it is the biggest collector show in the state. And a lot of collectors come all over just to come to this toy show because they have like 200 vendors. It's this huge event, and I was looking forward to it because I got into collecting Sonic the Hedgehog stuff lately. I know, I was a closet fan for a long time because these people scare me, like the Sonic fans, okay? I met some really good ones and I met some not so good ones in my time as a Sonic fan, but I'm really into collecting Sonic, and I thought because they're gonna have like 200 vendors, I thought this would be my time to grab all the different sort of Sonic stuff that I wanted, because I wanted some Prime figures, I wanted some Jack figures, I just wanted anything that I could find for a decent price, and that was my main goal. I had this cute outfit and everything, and so I went and checked all 200 vendors. It was a adventure of its own during that, but spoiler, I didn't find a lot of Sonic stuff, but I did find a lot of other cool things that I ended up buying instead, so stay tuned for that. So let's go. Alrighty, narrator me makes an appearance for this video because I'm still getting used to filming in public, and I feel much more comfortable doing a voiceover than speaking on camera. So we're going on the road to Puyallup right now because that's where the fairgrounds is located, and this toy show usually have different shows throughout Washington, but I always chose the Puyallup show just because that's the biggest one, and I'd rather go to where they have the most vendors. So this year the entrance is at the Blue Gate, which is different because usually at the Golden Gate, but doesn't matter as long as I can get inside. And you pay for your tickets there, and there's $10 to get inside, which is not a bad price at all, especially since you get free parking. And most of the show is actually in the showplex. Sometimes they split it up, but this year they decided let's put it all in one building. And I'm glad they chose the biggest one, and they did fill up that space. And let me tell you, they weren't kidding when they said they're going to have a ton of vendors. I believe they advertised that they're going to have about 150 vendors, and I totally believe that because there was so much to look at. And I tried my best to capture as much of this event as I can, but again, it was so big that I think I couldn't do that, but I did try my best. And I don't know if this was actually bigger this year, that we had so many vendors, or just felt bigger because it was in one building versus multiple, but either way, the vendors can go on for days. I swear, it was like everywhere you look, there was a vendor, and there's so much to look at. It was a little bit overwhelming, I can't lie about that. I definitely got overwhelmed because there's just so much stuff to look at. However, I do have a sort of strategy when I go to these events because I don't want to get overwhelmed or miss anything. And what I do is, for my first run through, I kind of just walk really fast just to get a quick glimpse of everything, just to see if anything right away caught my eye, especially since I kind of know my main goal of what I want to find today, which was Sonic stuff. So I'm walking around really fast to see if there's any Sonic things that will catch my eye right away, or anything that any other vendors have. And I just do this so I can look at everything really fast, so I won't miss anything on my first run through, because I do worry about what happens if I take my time to look at everything the first time, and by the time I'm done looking at everything, I might miss something towards the end. So if I do a really fast run through, I can see what's going on, what vendors have, and see if anything stands out to me right away, because I kind of know what I'm looking for, and if I don't see Sonic or anything like that, I'm just gonna keep walking for my first run through because I can always come back later. And right here, this booth caught my eye because I do like looking at these bins that have loose figures, because you never know what you can find. Like maybe there might be some Sonic ones in there, DC, and those Godzilla and dinosaur figures were also really cool, but nothing too interesting over there for me. So I walked to another booth that caught my eye, which was this booth that had all these My Little Ponies from different generations. And even though I'm not a My Little Pony collector, I still like looking at them and seeing them all together. And these ponies were in really good condition, I think, as well as their price. Like if I was a My Little Pony collector, I would definitely go crazy.
And yeah, I just love looking at all these. I wish I collected My Little Pony, but I collected enough stuff already. And of course, there's like a Pound Puppy there, among other things, some Care Bears. But I did like looking at the My Little Ponies. They're definitely the standout, but of course, I'm not gonna buy any because again, I don't collect them. Now, this booth, my jaw dropped when I saw all these Wonder Woman Barbies. I'm a huge DC collector as well as a DC Barbie collector, and I really wanted those live action Wonder Woman dolls, but I'm still going through my first initial run through just because again my main goal was Sonic, so if those Wonder Woman Barbies were still there, I might go back. But I like to look through these these loose figure bins, these shows, just because you might find some Sonic figures or anything like that, so I try my best to look through everything. And I do see like a lot of McDonald's toys was the main thing I see doing these bins, or loose dolls that were kind of bad condition. Kind of stuff you see like at a thrift store. A lot of Power Rangers, a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and a lot of Transformers, which are stuff I don't collect, but still cool to see them for other collectors. And again, I scoured throughout the bins to see if there's anything interesting for me, but I didn't find anything in this vendor, which is okay because again there's so many vendors to look at, but they still have a lot of cool stuff, but nothing I'm looking for. And here is my Funko dealer, is what I call them, because I always buy my Funko Pops from them because they have so many and they're all retail price. And the Pokemon ones I had to stop and look just because I love Pokemon, but I try not to buy too many Funko Pops that's not Sonic or Teen Titans. I kind of stick to those, but it doesn't mean I can't look at them. And I did spot this Treasure Hunter Knuckles, which was one on my list, so I did make a note that maybe I want to come back later. This depends what I see after my first initial run through, but they had so many Funkos. I found their Sonic selection, and they had so many to choose from. I did buy an Amy Rose my last convention, so I don't need her, but I was definitely eyeing Metal Sonic because hello Metal and Amy, yes please, even though I'm more of a Shad Amy person. But yeah, this was definitely a booth I want to come back later if I couldn't find anything else I want.
Alrighty, it's the walk of shame back to my car because I did end up buying those Wonder Woman Barbies. I really wanted Sonic stuff. I couldn't find a lot of Sonic things, but like, you know what, if I can't find Sonic, I would do the other love of my life, which is Wonder Woman. So, but yeah, the shame, the walk of shame, but I have no regrets. But here's the haul so far. I'm only like 2 hours in. I already bought stuff. Again, like I was looking for Sonic, but I couldn't find Sonic stuff that I wanted. But they had the Wonder Woman dolls I've been hunting for, which is from the live action. And I got all 4 of these dolls for $60. He gave me a bundle, which he didn't need to because I thought he was selling it already cheap enough. But I'm not gonna say no to a deal, so I got, you know, Wonder Woman's mom right here and her aunt, and I got Wonder Woman herself with the cloak. Oh, I wanted that doll so bad. And I also got the Wonder Woman doll in the store dress. So, and I believe all these are from like the first movie, which is great. Like I wanted these Wonder Woman dolls when they came out, but of course I didn't get them because I was literally a child. So now I have them. And again, I wasn't thinking about buying these just because my heart was so set on Sonic things, but since they didn't only have Sonic stuff that I saw so far, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna buy these. And I basically got this doll for free, so it's a win. So now I'm going back to the toy show because now I did the walk of shame back to the car. So let's see if we find anything else.
After I dropped off my Barbies, I went back into the show because there is re-entry, which is great, and I finished the rest of my walkthrough because I tried not to buy those Barbies right away. I want to finish what I was looking for, but I couldn't let them go. I wanted them for so long, so I had to go back and buy them, which I was so glad because all the other Barbies I didn't buy from that booth got sold. So I'm glad that I went back because, you know, my heart was set on those. Even if I was looking for Sonic stuff, I couldn't get those Wonder Woman Barbies out of my mind. So I'm just continuing walking down to see if there's anything interesting. And I'm kind of also doing my second run through as well, taking a closer look at everything. Like, look at these Monster High dolls. I never seen so much Monster High dolls in my life, especially at this type of toy show. And one thing I did like about this toy show was that they had a lot more doll vendors. Usually just all Funkos. So when I saw this Monster High booth that also had Ever After High, I screamed. And they were pretty decent price. Again, I'm not in my Monster High era anymore. Like, well, I still collect Monster High. They're not my main focus, but it's good to see this, even if it was a few years too late for me. But I'm glad to finally see some more Monster High dolls for more of the doll collectors here in Washington. And again, I love looking at these. They had so many varieties, like from Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3. I did like this Venus flytrap. I thought she was pretty, but if I do buy used dolls, my number one thing is they had to have their clothes and their shoes. I'm not looking for basically naked dolls. That's not my goal. They had to be clothes with shoes. And I saw this Skull Shore Frankie, and I kind of wanted her, but then I saw she was $35 with no shoes. I'm like, nope. I put her back. And yeah, I just loved looking at this. I couldn't look at all the dolls, but it was still great to look at. And they also had the Monster High School playset, which is great. And they also had some stickers for sale, but nothing too interesting. And I saw this like Wolverine like ride thing. It was really cool. I'm not an X-Men fan. Again, I'm more DC, but I still had to film it. And I found this other vendor that was selling all these old Barbie dolls and a lot from Barbie around the world, which are some of my favorite lines of Barbie dolls. And I really wanted that Thai Barbie because that's the closest thing I could get to my culture, because I'm Hmong and they don't make Hmong Barbies, so Thai works for me. But I did pass on those just because I'm not really a Barbie collector either. I just don't have space for them. I love Barbies, but there's no space. And I went to another vendor because I saw again these loose bins, and all of them were McDonald's toys, so I thought McDonald's has some pretty cool toys from a lot of things I'm into, not just Sonic. So I keep looking through to see if there's any McDonald's toys that caught my eye. I wasn't really looking for anything particular when it comes to McDonald's toys, but it didn't hurt to look. And like all these were like $1, so I tried to find there's anything that I liked, but there wasn't. But didn't hurt to check. And it was kind of fun going through all these different McDonald's toys, because McDonald's toys used to be so good and they're not that way anymore, which is fine. And again, I found more Barbies again because there are so much more doll vendors in this show, which I appreciate. And this one had a good variety too, but I thought some of them were kind of pricey. Some were good, some were more expensive. I did love that doll, but again, I tried not to buy too many Barbies just because my mom was a Barbie collector and I know she had quite a few in her collection, and I own those, and I don't know which one she owns, but doesn't mean I can't stop to look at them because they're so pretty. Oh, I wish I was more of a Barbie collector. I really like this Rapunzel, but again, I had to put her back. I had no room for this. I also love this one too. They're always so beautiful. Like old Barbie dolls, they just understand the assignment. New ones, they don't. What else did I pull here? Oh, I got this one, but no. Saw that one. Didn't vibe with it. I like the Barbies that are more like princess-like or more cultural. And I saw a lot of Kens here too. I saw some of the Native American Barbies, and I do was like a fellow Barbie collector who only collects like Native American Barbies, so I was looking just to see what they had, and it was kind of nice to see some of the Native American Barbies. I'm not Native American, but I like looking at them. Their outfits are cool, and just because I'm not that race doesn't mean I can't appreciate the culture, because I study a lot of different things. And again, I saw a lot of Ken dolls, which were nice, but I don't collect Ken. I like some Ken dolls, but I'm more of a Barbie girl. And I found another Barbie booth that had a lot of the older Barbies too. And they also had like older Barbies, like ones from like the 60s and the 70s. I'm not interested in those, but I definitely got to get a few shots of it. They also had a lot of troll dolls. Their things were a lot of like vintage toys, which I can appreciate. And I found another booth that had a lot of inbox of up to high-end Monster High, but they're all kind of pretty pricey. But doesn't mean I can't stop to look and admire. And I loved looking at all of these. Brought me back. And I did find a little bit of Sonic, but these were in like the worst condition possible, and I couldn't believe they were selling it for like $20. Like, really, those should be like for free. Nobody should pay for those. And I saw like that Voltron thing. I thought it was Sonic at first, like, oh no, it is Voltron. I haven't watched that show yet. And I continue to walk around to see if there's anything else that interests me. And I did find a booth that interests me because I saw these Bondi Miraculous dolls, but I have those, but it's great to see them. And they had so many out-of-box dolls, especially Barbies, but nothing interesting for me just because, again, not really looking for Barbie. I thought that was like an Annalise doll for a second, but it wasn't, and I was kind of disappointed because I will buy like the movie dolls, but anything that's not like movie dolls, oh, there's another Wonder Woman doll. If it's not the movie dolls, I'm not really interested right now. And I did find this Wonder Woman Barbie. I think they were selling her for $5, but again, I got her already, but it's kind of nice to find the out-of-box version. But I don't need the out-of-box version. And there was like a DC superhero girl, just a whole bunch of different, a lot of them were mostly like fashionistas. Oh, one of those dolls, those Project MC squares. Not really a big fan of those, but I did walk over for the Miraculous. Can't lie about that. And they also have some more bigger toys, but nothing too interesting. I also saw that Spirit Halloween Monster High purse, but it didn't have the strap. But again, it was like $5, but I didn't buy it because I already own it. And they had a lot to look at. And they have these loose bins, and their thing with the loose bins, so like if you buy a bag with like for $5, you can fill up that bag as much as you want. And I saw a Huntress figure I really wanted, and I thought that alone was worth $5. So I thought, well, if I'm gonna buy I'm gonna like, you know, pay $5 for it, might as well fill up the bag, right? Even if I just wanted the Huntress. I did find like a DC superhero girl, a Digimon little figurine. And I tried my best to film this, but it was kind of hard to film things one hand while I was digging. I saw this black cat Zoom, the one Marvel character I actually will collect. And that Woody is just staring into my soul right now through this camera. And it just had a lot to look at. So I eventually put the camera away just because I couldn't do it one-handed. I saw Sass, Kwame, I saw Roar, but I already owned those. But yeah, I tried my best to film what I'm searching for, but again, it was so hard. Oh, I found a Bark, which I believe I didn't have, so I put him in the bag. Again, that was also worth like $5. So again, like I'm definitely getting my money's worth. And they did have a lot of the Kwame surprises, but most of them was ones I already had. But it was nice again to see Miraculous out in the wild, especially for these types of toy show. And wow, this is like a very long clip, girl. Like I'm getting tired of narrating. But I was here forever because they had bins full of stuff and I want to fill my bag. Okay, I'm gonna get my $5 worth. And I was mostly looking for more of those Kwame surprises since I saw that they had some. I also found like a Sonic thing in there, which I don't think I got on camera. So you will see that in the haul, I guess. But yeah, I would definitely go more into depth what I got in this bag when I had my haul. And I also saw all these 3D printed trinkets. I love the 3D printed stuff. I saw this strawberry dragon and I had to grab that because I love dragons and strawberries. And I do have a little mini collection of these little trinkets on my desk, so this will go great with it. Again, strawberry dragon, sign me up. I hope they make a pink one. I really want a pink one. And this was my face of disappointment when I couldn't find any Sonic stuff. Like they had over 150 vendors. You'd think they had Sonic. And like I was dressed in Sonic gear and everything. Kind of disappointed that way. And let me tell you, this Sailor Moon like booth had me in a choke hold because everything was so beautiful and greatly priced. So here's them. I wish I see that more shows because I would definitely want to buy some stuff next time because I wasn't really on a budget, but I wasn't looking for anything Sailor Moon but I hope I run into them again because I'm going to start watching Sailor Moon here very soon. And I just kind of wanted to buy everything. Not gonna lie, those dolls were calling my name. Everything here was just so cute. But those dolls are so beautiful. Even like looking through these clips, I wish I bought one. Even though I don't know much about Sailor Moon, and I don't know if those are good prices or not. At least I know that the conditions of the boxes were great. And some of them were, you know, wrapped in plastic, but they were so beautiful, and I definitely wanted those. But maybe in the future, when I actually do watch Sailor Moon. But she had a good variety of merch, in my opinion, from what I know from Sailor Moon. And I love these types of mobilia when it's kind of like the little things. Those are stuff that I love to collect. And she has some of these out-of-box figures that were good prices, I think. She had these plushies. I really wanted this like Sailor Moon and tuxedo mask wedding set because I don't know, it was calling my name. It was like $40, which I don't think is a bad price, and I really wanted to buy it, but again, I haven't watched Sailor Moon, so I try not to buy things I don't know anything of. But if I see this booth again, I just might buy it for fun. But again, I love these types of mobilia when it's like these little like stationary stuff. Again, she has these out of box figures for $15, like pretty good. But again, that Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask set, I really wanted it. So if I do see this booth again, I'll definitely buy it just for funsies. But again, she had all these out of box figures for $15. I thought it was a good price, and that was the end of that. Natalie found some miraculous stuff I don't own. It's those like chibi plush dolls you kind of see around all the time in lots. I didn't buy them because I know I can buy them in a lot, but I now see them in person, so that's great. And this Beauty and the Beast set, I don't know, I thought it was cute. I have a soft spot for Beauty and the Beast, and of course I had to check out some of these out-of-box figures, but again, nothing interesting. Then I went back to my Funko vendor because, again, couldn't find a lot of Sonic stuff, and the only thing I bought so far was like a $5 goodie bag and Wonder Woman Barbies, so I thought I deserved some Sonic Funko Pops, so I spent a long time here trying to pick out the best one, and I finally got a Sonic Funko because I didn't own one yet, and the metal one. And the Sonic one I got was the one with the ring. I thought that was most fitting, and I was very excited to pick up those two and add it to the collection. And definitely next time, I definitely wanted the Knuckles and Rouge next time, so those will probably be my next purchases, but I just stick for two for now because I see them all the time. And then here's another booth that I was actually really excited for, and I almost bought more things, but again, I have some self-control because I don't want to buy things just to buy things. I want things to fit in my collection. But they had a lot of cool stuff, especially a lot of like 90s Disney merch from like the Disney store. I thought they had a good variety, and their prices were fantastic. But a big thing that they did was, besides the Disney stuff, they had a lot of McDonald's toys, and it was really cute because I saw a dad and his son there, and the dad's like a millennial, and he was geeking out. He's like, this is stuff from my childhood, so he bought some stuff so he can enjoy it with his son, and I thought it was really beautiful. And look at this beautiful Disney store display. Like, that was a great way to display this, and she had a lot of just like stuff from the 90s. She had these Wizard of Oz McDonald toys. I used to own some of those. I don't know what they are now, but I remember having those as a kid. A lot of Coca-Cola stuff. Of course, there's Funkos. You can see Funkos all the time. And that was the father and son I was talking about. And again, they had so much McDonald toys, and I definitely want to pick up some. I did pick up, they had like a vintage Sonic one from 1994, so I did pick up those. But they had so many cool ones. Like, they had this Batman animated series set, and these are like full sets. The one I bought, it wasn't a full set, the Sonic one, but I believe everything else was like full sets. And again, I really want to buy it. Like, again, we got these Barbie. I love the Barbie McDonald toys because they're like little Barbies. I definitely wanted some of these, but again, where I'm gonna put them, I gotta be mindful of space and money. I definitely wanted these Brats. Like, I was eyeing those because I had those as a kid, but again, I don't collect Brats, so again, gotta have some boundaries and rules for yourself. Then I continue on my journey again, walking around to see what's around. Look at those lounge flies. I thought they were cute, but again, none for me, and I had enough bags already. And I appreciate people who bring their stuff that they make, like these people who made those letter bags. I appreciate that. There's some Lego Star Wars there, but again, I don't collect those, but I know a lot of people do, and I'm excited for people who get excited for that. And there's another angle of the toy show. You can just see the mass size it is and how many vendors they are. And even though these vendors had a lot of different variety, didn't see Sonic, which was surprisingly, like, so surprised for me, you know. But they had a lot of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a lot of Monster High this time around. Of course, you're gonna get Transformers and Star Wars all the time. But besides Sonic, they did have a good range of stuff. Like, again, the fact that I found miraculous stuff I didn't have really speaks for itself. But again, no Sonic. And I know how Amy feels. And Eggman, like, you chase this blue hedgehog around and you can't even get him. So, wow, a floor shot. Look at that. Beautiful. But anyways, here's me just continuing on my way, still hoping for Sonic stuff, even though by this time I'm filming. I've been there for a few hours now. I'm kind of look at everything. I just keep walking around because you never know what will show up, because sometimes, you know, I'm blind, you know. So I was really hoping for Sonic stuff. I couldn't find it, but I did find some other cool things, and yeah. know we're getting towards the end of the show. Like, I'm about to leave. I gotta head to work and stuff. It's like 3 p.m. and I've been here for a few hours now, but I'm doing one last look around. I think this was my last look just because, again, even though I didn't see a lot of Sonic stuff, when I keep walking around, there's like 150 vendors. There could have been something I missed, but I believe that there isn't any more Sonic stuff around, but it doesn't hurt to check, and it doesn't hurt to check for other things I collect, but I'm a very strict collector. I am very specific of what I collect. Even though my collection seems huge, I'm very specific of what I collect, again, because I do set boundaries for myself, and I try to collect within my collection. I try to not start new ones or go beyond that, just because space, time, and money is a real big deal when it comes to collecting. So I try to stick with the stuff I already collect, which is like DC and mostly Teen Titans, but I do occasional Justice League character. Of course, Miraculous is my main thing, and other shows I'm into, and I try to stick to those. But Sonic is a new collection for me that I keep talking about how much I keep looking for throughout this video, because that's a new collection I'm allowing myself. And when you're in like the new stages, everything's fun because you don't have like the same problems that you have when you have a big collection. Like with Miraculous, my collection is so big. Like, I don't want to brag, but like, it just facts that my collection is so big, sometimes it's hard to find stuff I don't have or stuff that excite me, just because when you have a big collection, that just happens. Same with DC, same with Teen Titans, but Sonic is new to me, so everything is exciting, and I'm trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like. I have a pretty good like rules. Like, I only really collect like Shadow and Amy stuff mostly. Like, if something doesn't have Shadow and Amy on it, if it's like a multi-pack, I tend not to buy it. I do go beyond that. Like, I would buy like Funko Pops and individual sets. And so I said, Sonic's so exciting for me right now. So when I went to this show with 150 vendors, I thought there would at least be one vendor that would sell some Sonic stuff, especially since there's a lot of Sonic hype. Oh, look at these Titan AE figures, totally random. And I definitely wanted those, but again, or not wanted those, but I thought they were interesting because I never saw those before, and they were like $10. Like, if I, again, I collect within my collections, but if I was just like a kind of like an everything collector, like some collectors are, which I respect, I definitely would have grabbed those because they're interesting, but I didn't, because again, I stick to my rules. I may one day I'll make a video on my collecting rules, but that was so passionate and looking forward to Sonic stuff this show, and not to have any is kind of disappointing and shocking, as I mentioned, because again, there's like a Sonic craze right now, but it is what it is. And I just keep looking around. You can tell this is towards the end of the day when it's much more empty, because we're kind of busy the whole day, as it should be, because it's a great show. And yeah, and I just kept looking around, see if there's anything else that caught my eye for the one last time, and there wasn't much, to be honest. Then I want to be on what I bought, okay, because I had my heart set on certain things, and when I didn't find those things, I kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. But it's kind of nice to see other collectibles, because I don't collect it, I know it will make somebody else very happy, and I know that feeling. And like, girl, why are there floor shots? Like, why am I filming the floor right here? And why didn't cut it out? Because I'm in the middle of this voiceover, and sometimes I filmed this video like 2 months ago, and I don't remember what to film, but like, girl, what was that floor shot? Camera me and narrator me never get along. But yeah, here's just me walking around, as you could see, trying to find anything interesting, and I couldn't. I was like, okay, like at this point I was getting like really bummed out, because I got some cool stuff, and I will make a video on that. I said, when you have a hard set, because like I wanted Sonic Prime figures or Jack figures or basically anything, and I didn't find anything. And so yeah, and then we're back at the very beginning of the toy show, and I did like this Hot Wheel dealer, but I wasn't looking for Hot Wheels. I was looking for diecast though, because diecast do make some Sonic stuff. And again, right here we made a full loop around, and this is right at the beginning of the toy show, so my adventure ends here. But I thought I would give you guys a quick haul of what my brother got. So he brought some Transformers and Gundam kits, of course, but I think it's mostly just Transformers this time, yes. And it was funny that he bought this figure just for the case. And then he sold the figure. I'm like, mood. And here's my outfit of the day, because I thought I would show you guys at the very end, because again, I was looking for Sonic stuff, so I got myself all decked out with the Hot Topic Sonado jacket, with the box lunch athletic dress, and the new backpack, but it is what it is. So here's me leaving the show, not empty-handed, but not what I wanted, like, initially, and I had to get my emotional support drink at Starbucks, because there was one across the street, so I ordered it through the app, and got a lot of caramel in my frap, and I felt a lot better. And of course I got a 24-ounce one because it's me. And I had to go to work right after the toy show, so did I chug that venti drink? You bet I did. And did I have regrets? Yep, because me and coffee, we don't get along. And then I made a quick stop to Jack in the Box because I haven't eaten anything all day, and those chicken strips were calling my name. And here's a quick look at my nails, because I love nails. That's a passion of mine that I keep offline because I'm always painting my nails. You guys can see that throughout my videos. And the nail polish I'm wearing right here is from Hollow Taco. It's one of their birthstone sets, so it was really fun. And just like that, my day ended because I arrived at work, because the girl gotta make money somehow. And just like that, I went back to my secret identity self, you know, because in the daytime, I'm Marinette, just a normal girl with a normal life. But that was my adventure at the toy show. So let's go back to front facing me. Bye!
Well, that was the vlog. That was my adventure at the toy show. Again, I had such a fun time because I just love how big this event is. Like, again, they had like 150 vendors, which is quite a bit, and they always have so much stuff to look at. It's just unfortunate that from all 150 vendors, there was barely any Sonic stuff. Like, I barely saw anything. Like, I mostly just saw my Funko vendor who were just selling the Funko Pops they always sell. Like, I didn't find any Sonic Prime figures, any Jack figures. Like, Sonic's been around for a long time, and there's been a lot of merch of Sonic. I'm just surprised that nobody had anything. And I went with my brother, and he was also looking for similar stuff as me, and he's like, I'm surprised that they didn't have Sonic stuff either. Like, I know, I was so disappointed in that way, because like, I wore a whole outfit and everything, but I can't be too disappointed because I still come out with amazing things. Like, again, you saw those Wonder Woman Barbies, and again, like, even though I didn't come out with Sonic stuff, I still came out with pretty awesome things to add to my collection. So if you want to see all the stuff I bought at the toy show, that would be my next video, because I would put it in this one, but it would just be way too long. So make sure you stay for my next upload, which will be that. And that's all for today's video. So I hope you didn't find it boring or cringy. And if you want to support me, the best way to do it is to subscribe here on YouTube and follow me on Instagram as well, so you can always stay up to date with me on all the projects I'm working on, all the events I go to, or just any updates on me in general. So I always recommend is follow me on Instagram and subscribing here on YouTube if you like collecting and cosplay. But until then, I catch you in my next video. I have no idea what it is, but I hope you watch it. And until then, goodbye.